Minnesota, at least one person dies from an opioid drug overdose. And it's a problem that involves increasingly younger overdose patients. Not only is it an addiction problem, opioid overdoses are an economic problem. On Monday night, Congressman Dean Phillips joined a panel of healthcare leaders to discuss the opioid crisis. They talked about how overdoses have taken a financial toll on counties, which pick up the tab for everything from emergency services to child protection. Senator Chris Eaton of Brooklyn Center says opioids are overutilized, especially when it comes to treating chronic pain.
I'm hoping that we kind of change the mentality of the public that it's not normal to be pain-free all the time. If you get an injury, expect some pain. You know, we're kind of, we want that magic pill all the time. And unfortunately, this magic pill, the opioid, has a lot of bad side effects, the main one being death.
Senator Eaton is hoping to pass legislation that provides funds for naloxone, the medication that reverses the effects of opioid overdoses. Her bill would also fund licensed counselors who would go to people's homes to provide addiction treatment. After listening to neighbor concerns, the New Hope City Council will allow a one-year test run of outside groups using the Cooper High School Stadium. The Robbinsdale School District needed a special conditional use permit to make changes to the use of the stadium. The City Council would not allow that, but will allow a trial run. A final vote will happen in a couple of weeks. There were many concerns from neighbors who live next to the stadium, including some who would pick up the trash in and around the stadium.
Cooper's a good school. They just aren't real good neighbors when it comes to cleaning up the trash.
We don't know who the groups are that are coming in, senior groups or whatever. So a one-year trial would give us that opportunity. I'm not against people using the stadium, but a lot of neighbors are very concerned.
Under the list of requirements proposed, renters would have to place a deposit for litter and trash removal. Downtown Robbinsdale has become known as for its restaurant scene. Now some changes are taking place too. Reporter Meredith Hackler shows us what we can expect.
When this was the TCF, this was the head teller's office right here. So what we did is we turned a head teller's office into a kitchen.
With Wicked Ward adding food to its brewery.
We wanted to get hard cider and wine, and in order to get hard cider and wine, you have to have a kitchen.
And Marna's Cafe changing its footprint.
Now what we're going to do, we actually combine the two spaces. We're going to break a wall and have people overflow to this side. So this will be more of a lounge, so people can still come pull the computer out, have a cup of coffee, just kind of lounge, have some meetings, instead of just dining in and having food. Expansion
and redesign are the name of the game.
Oh, we've made a lot of changes over the last year just to keep it fresh, not getting people getting bored with it and whatnot.
I think the city needs that one space that you can have a good happy hour, a good burger if you want, you can have a good craft cocktail.
Marna's is expanding into the previous location of Pig Ate My Pizza. Pig Ate My Pizza will be moving into the old Travail location down the street. And Travail is building a new restaurant across the street. With all the changes taking place, restaurant owners say it's an exciting time to be a part of the community.
They just play off each other, which is awesome because that's the way it should be. They're all growing, they're getting bigger, and more people are coming to town, you know, for us, them, everybody. Parking's going to be a little tight, but what do you do?
It's exciting. It's exciting and scary at the same time.
Marna's Cafe will operate as normal during construction, and Pig Ate My Pizza will open in the old Travail location in mid-May. Travail will move into its new building by September. In Robbinsdale, Meredith Hackler, CCX News.
Also, the St. Petersburg Vodka Bar will be closing within the next week with no plans to relocate. The American Legion will be closing after Whiz Bang Days and constructing a new building in Crystal. There will be a new apartment building built at that site. A Golden Valley park with a history of problems could be getting a significant makeover. Medley Park in Golden Valley was originally built in the 1970s, but in the ensuing decades it suffered from poor soil and drainage conditions that damaged the ball fields and nearby tennis courts. City officials had to stop scheduling activities on the ball fields about 4 years ago. And despite half a dozen resurfacing projects, the tennis courts have multiple cracks. Now the city is looking to possibly replace the tennis courts and ball fields with a community garden and off-leash dog park.
We're going to get some formal estimates during the summer season, look at our budget, and probably bring it back sometime September, October to the Open Space and Recreation Commission and say, hey, here's what we're hearing from the community. Here was the initial planning through the comprehensive plan process, and have a discussion on where we'd potentially like to go.
Anyone with feedback can contact Golden Valley's Parks and Rec Director. For more information on the proposals, you can go to our website, ccxmedia.org. The official start date for construction of the Botno light rail line is still unknown, but plans are being put in place for artwork at stops along the light rail line.
We hope to really build and grow our artist networks, and so as we put more permanent pieces in, we could have the potential to have arts pieces at each station in Brooklyn Park, and that's something that we might work towards.
It's part of a project called Cultivate Botno. No designs or drawings have been chosen yet, and local artists are encouraged to submit their ideas or work in the coming weeks.
I think we're hoping to create a sense of place for each station, so that folks who aren't familiar with Brooklyn Park really can identify, oh, I'm at the 85th Avenue station, or I'm at the 63rd Avenue station.
The McKnight Foundation is supporting the effort, and an organization called Springboard for the Arts is putting out the call for artists. And of course, you can learn more on this story and the other stories that we cover right here on CCX Media on our website, ccxmedia.org.
The Armstrong boys lacrosse team lost a tough one-goal contest to Elk River last week in their season opener. The Falcons had the first of 3 conference games this week when they hosted Centennial. Second quarter, Centennial's Garrett Hulk zips a shot and go in for a goal in a 3-1 Cougars lead. Armstrong's Matt Campion powers his way to the goal. He scores for the Falcons. Jordan Rodriguez leads the rush for Centennial, lasers the goal in. It's a 5-2 lead. Then in the third quarter, Justin Peterson fires it in, and the Cougars have a 6-3 lead. Falcons make a run, though. Spencer Volkert scores with a low shot. Then in the fourth quarter, a great effort by Armstrong's Carter Lucas. He picks up the ground ball, finds his way to the net, and scores. Falcons cut the lead to 8-7. But the Cougars score 4 unanswered goals and go on to win 12-7, dropping the Falcons to 0-2 on the season. Local high school golf teams are starting to get some matches in and tournaments as well. As Jay Wilcox reports, the Osseo girls team is one to watch this season.
With most of last season's successful squad back, the Osseo girls golf team is optimistic about this season.
We were second in the conference last year, and I think we've made even improvements from last year, so I'm really excited to see what we can do this year.
Yeah, so we actually returned all 6 varsity starters from last year, we had a great season last year. We were just 1 point behind Maple Grove on our side of the conference last year, and I think we got a great chance to compete this year for our side. And in total we have 18 girls, and I think we're pretty solid all the way through.
As for all of the area golf teams, much of the preseason work has been indoors for the Orioles. It's not quite the same as being on a course, but there's still benefits to be had.
It helps a lot just for the reps and just being able to make sure we have good contact with the ball. And we do different drills and things like that in the dome, and there's like a little bit of putting here, so it helps. But we definitely would rather be outside.
We like to compete kind of like one-on-one against each other. It'll just be like, even if it's little things like, oh, who can hit the flag, or who can hit it the farthest, or hit the wall, or whatever, just little things like that.
All conference returners Kate Achenbach, Ellen Solom, Savannah Dickey, and Anna Corona provide a steady base for the Orioles lineup. This is a team that should be in the hunt for conference and section titles.
We're really consistent too with our scores and things like that. And we got second last year in conference, and we did really good in section, so I'm really excited for the season.
Osseo's ready to post some good scores this spring. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
The Orioles won the tournament they hosted at Shamrock Golf Course last Thursday. They will play in a tournament at Delwood Country Club this Thursday. Football from youth to high school is the topic of the second Minnesota Football Summit this weekend. The Minnesota High School Football Coaches Association is partnering with the State High School League to present the summit. The main purpose is to grow the game and help build football programs across the state. There will be panel discussions, including a mom's perspective, coaches panel, and talks about progressing from flag football, the rookie tackle, and up to full tackle options. There'll be guest speakers about safety concerns and benefits of the game. That's this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. at Roseville High School. Pre-registration is encouraged on the Coaches Association website. That's mfca.com. Better weather is here, and we have some good high school games for you this week on CCX Sports. Tuesday, Armstrong pays a visit to Centennial Grace for a softball battle. Watch it live Tuesday afternoon at 4:30 or catch the replay Tuesday night at 10 o'clock. Wednesday, teams from those schools meet in girls lacrosse. We'll have live coverage at 6:30 p.m. or see it again at 10 p.m. And Thursday, it's baseball under the lights as Osseo hosts Hopkins live at 7 o'clock. See the replay that night also at 10 o'clock here on CCX, your home for high school sports. More news right after this.